I'm here with Tara Wooders, the Director of Strategic Partnership at Americares. Americares is a global nonprofit organization focused on health and development that responds to individuals affected by poverty, disaster, and crisis. As an important side note, Americares is a 4-star rated nonprofit on Charity Navigator. This is the highest possible rating. Tara, thank you so much for joining me. The world is watching intently on the current situation in Ukraine, and I'm just hoping that you can walk us through how Americares is helping those affected.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for having Americares today as well. So Americares is a health-focused humanitarian organization, and we are committed to protecting the health of the refugees fleeing the violence in Ukraine. Americares has an emergency response team on the ground in Poland. We currently have 3 tons of medicines and medical supplies ready to be used in Ukraine, and we have an emergency medical team ready to deploy to provide primary care and mental health support to those affected by the crisis. We hear from our team on the ground that the need for medicines and medical supplies is immense. We are hearing about the need for IV fluid and insulin, antibiotics, wound kits, and trauma kits as well. Americares is ready to meet these needs and more. We are, in addition to a focus on medicine security and access to medicines and supplies, as I mentioned, we are looking to deploy mobile medical teams into the field to provide primary care and mobile and mental health as well. This is to our goal being to improve health of those affected and also to help reduce pressure on the host community health systems. Americares also has extensive experience providing mental health and psychosocial support to refugees around the world. Americares will definitely be offering mental health and psychosocial support to those affected by this crisis as well. We know from our work in Jordan with Syrian refugees and in Colombia with Venezuelan migrants that mental health support is so critical to this population, considering how much their lives have changed in just a mere matter of days. Americares is partnering and supporting both local, national, and international organizations as we really prioritize collaboration during this response in an effort to ensure that our medicines, medical supplies, and resources arrive to the areas of greatest need.
Sure. Thank you so much for walking us through that. I mean, obviously a lot in motion in a very short amount of time. A couple of things that you shared that really resonated with me. I mean, just the idea of, focusing on the mental health side of things as well is that, you think about, just all of the ways that this is going to impact people, not just in the short term, but in the long term. And so just curious if you can, maybe talk with some more granularity as to, and I know it's still early to tell, and that's totally fine, but some of the ways maybe that historically you've helped in similar situations and how you're thinking that might apply to the current situation, specifically around mental health.
Absolutely. So we know that as a result of displacement, as a result of being on the move, as a result of the experience in flight where refugees have had days in the cold, they have gone without adequate food, water, sleep, that health can decline rapidly and that new health conditions can arise, including both physical and mental health needs. So we are prepared to provide mental health support services however needed to those that are affected. Previously, we have, working with Syrian refugees in Jordan, we have done significant research and significant programmatic work looking at how supporting mental health also supports chronic care and chronic health as well, and that those are inextricably linked. In Colombia, we support the mental health needs of the Venezuelan migrants who have been displaced and in transit for quite some time, providing them with sort of psychological first aid, but also sort of deeper counseling and support, however is needed to recover and reach their full potential, and most especially maintain good health.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's just been such a focus on, kind of those immediate needs that people are seeing, but then also, the long-term thinking starts to go of how this will affect people physically and mentally. And it's good to know that you're there. I'm sure that you're motivating a lot of people that are watching right now, and they want to help. They feel pain because they see other people in pain. What are some of the ways that they can get involved with Americares and help you doing the work that you're doing?
Absolutely. It's a good question. Well, I would want them to know that for this particular crisis, Americares has extensive experience uh, helping those that are affected by displacement all around the world, including in Ukraine and surrounding countries. And Americares has actually been supporting the health sector in Eastern Europe since 1986, providing over $1 billion of aid to that region, including directly to Ukraine. So we are committed to this area. We're committed to the people of this region, both those that are displaced as well as the host communities. And we will stay as long as needed to really support this community, help support health system strengthening and get people back on their feet. And our donors are just a critical component to that work. It is our donors that enable us to mobilize our emergency response team and our emergency medical teams, get our medicines and medical supplies out into the field rapidly and ensure that they are going to the areas of greatest need. So for that, we are grateful. We always look to engage with our partners however we can. We can please amplify our messages on social media, be a champion for the cause, be a champion for the people that are affected, use your voices and really stand up and step up in support of those that are really experiencing one of the worst days of their life in this moment in time. And we look to you, to our donors as our partners and our collaborators, and hope that you will stand with us in support of those that are fleeing the violence in Ukraine.
Tara, that was like poetry. That was beautifully said. A big heartfelt thank you for all that you and your team are doing. To those that are watching, please consider supporting a highly rated organization. You can go to Charity Navigator. Americares is on our Ukrainian Russian hot topic, and help them help those that need it most. Thanks so much, Tara.
Thanks, Kevin. Take care.